Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number S771-GR. This is a self-adhesive Astragal or meeting style piece of adhesive-backed gray silicone weather strip is what it is. So the S771, that means silicone, and that it is in the 771 profile, which is basically a T-shape. Okay, we've got an end of it sticking out of the packaging here for demonstration purposes. The GR means gray. This is going to be available in black, clear, dark bronze, white as well, and then of course GR. I believe that's all the different finishes that it is available in. This is a 7-foot length. 7. This is going to be in the site in, 10 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, and 10 foot is how it's in the site. Now this material is going to be used specifically, it's rated for specifically the application between two doors that are required to have a smoke seal or a draft seal sort of compliance with the opening. This material is adhesive backed. There is a peel away paper backer that's on here that reveals the adhesive. A very good quality adhesive, I can tell you that, because the paper doesn't even want to yield to it. There we go. Okay, very good quality material. So this is self-adhesive meeting style in silicone, color is gray, self-adhesive backing. Use on virtually any pair of doors where sound attenuation is required. Seals the opening to prevent heat loss, retards the passage of smoke, and acts as a weatherization product as well. Offers excellent resistance to compression, meaning fatiguing with time. You know, you've got two doors that are closed all the time, it still kind of retains its original shape even years down the road. That's the short version of what that passage says. Very flexible in extreme temperatures, very cold, outrageously hot. Highly resistance to flex fatigue. Maintains a low closing force, meaning that even if the margin between your two doors is very tight to begin with, this will most likely not prevent any sort of problem with that at all. It can be compressed down to basically to very, very small dimensional width. Easy to install. We're going to get to that in a moment. Air seal rated, smoke seal rated, sound rated, fire rated, certified by the Builders Hardware Manufacturers Association. There's an image below this video showing the important dimensional properties of this item. You can see that the width of the backer is 7/16 and that the projection is 9/32, so just heavy on a 1/4 inch. Now, where you're going to use this, again, is in those pairs of doors that require a smoke seal, a draft seal sort of rating, meaning there's an actual label that is required, and this material even includes that label for application to the frame to testify the material installed meets the criteria and the requirement. Now, there is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions, and those are quite simple and straightforward. They're on page 2, the important portion of this. Assuming that you're just doing a single acting door, meaning you're not doing doors that swing in and out, even though you could, there'd be no question about that. And in that regard, you're not using it for smoke or draft control. You're using it just to help retard the transmission of the particulate, the sound, the temperature that you wish to keep on the other side. That sort of application. So looking at the installation instructions for the single acting door, you can see where they want you to have it primarily placed, offset towards the push side of the door, where if one of the doors or both are beveled, and it's possible there's only one, it's possible both are beveled, you'll have a greater gap between the two doors, allowing the item to not have to be so aggressively compressed. Okay, is the concept with that. Installation instructions: pre-cut the material to the length of the door. Measure the door, cut your material to that length, and there's an important reason why, which we'll get to in a moment. Step 2, remove approximately 24-inch of the backing of the adhesive gasketing strip. Be careful, don't touch the adhesive or drag the adhesive on the ground. So peel some away. They're saying 2 foot. I like to work with a shorter amount. It allows me to better control what I'm working on. Plus, 2 feet of it gets down here, and then I'm unintentionally bumping it onto the surface that I'm applying it to. Position the adhesive gasketing, as illustrated in the diagram, single acting or double acting doors. Do not stretch the material. That's in capital letters, and that's why we pre-cut the item to the length, meaning that if you get down to the bottom and it's longer than the door, problem. You don't want any stretching of the material, because overnight it'll find its natural elasticity, and you'll come to the job site the next day and there'll be portions of it that have likely failed. Which is mentioned in step 4. Immediately remove and reset. Patience, lots of pressure, just straight flat down. Once installed, apply firm pressure along the entire surface of the door to ensure proper adhesion to the frame, and you can certainly install this on the frame as well. I like using it on the frame because it helps augment additional, in an additional sort of fashion, existing weather stripping. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, up at the top of this, installation instructions. Shelf life, use it in 6 months. Don't buy this stuff unless you know you're going to use it. Everything, the adhesive especially, has a lifespan on it before it's activated onto its surface. Before installing, thoroughly clean the frame with the enclosed cleansing towelette. It is so crucial that what you are installing this to is clean and completely free of dirt, debris, oil. If it's been recently painted or stained, all that has to be cured at least a week. That they include like a wet nap. Okay, they include that. It's that crucial. The frame's got to be completely clean. If you have a high gloss finish on the edge of a door, rough that up a little bit, clean all the particulate off, and that's what you stick the material down to. Some hospital environments have wax or antibacterial cleanser buildup. You've got to get all that off. As an alternative or substitute cleanser, use isopropyl, rubbing alcohol. Mineral spirits or other petroleum-based products should not be used because they will, strip your paint off, damage your finish, things of that nature. Don't install the material unless it's at room temperature, literally room temperature, meaning 70, 75 degrees, something in that range, whatever it is. Below 50, don't do it. Above 100, don't do it. It's just not going to work. If you've got a job and for some reason there's no HVAC in the building yet, and you've had temperatures that are in the 90s, I would probably wait till the HVAC was installed, because during the day that temperature inside the building will certainly elevate. When to install? It should be when you're done with the entire project. In my opinion, this should be the very last thing that goes on, like the carpeting kind of thing. Carpet's the last thing to go in the job. This material should be too, because the construction will be done. You'll be left with nothing other than compliance with the requirement of the opening. Paint staying cured for 5 to 7 days, as it's mentioned there as well. Now, I've used this material with great success. In addition to existing weather stripping, you've got a shop and then a showroom separated by a demising wall. You want to retard the transmission of the sound, of the temperature, of the dust and debris that's in the air, the particulate in the air as well. And you've got weather stripping on there, and that's great. You can take the S771 material and apply that onto the frame, onto the face of the stop, onto the edge of the door perhaps. Wherever you can fit it is great, because it's easy to install, it's effective, and it's inexpensive. And you will notice after a couple of months of use, you're going to see the line of dust where it has stopped additional infiltration of material from coming in. Especially if you have a knockdown drywall frame, you'll notice that the miters, you're going to have creep of dust and debris that will come in actually from the miter and get down into the frame. It comes from there as well, from the inside of the wall. And in conclusion, the name Pemko is synonymous with all things weather stripping related, and they have a very nice complementary offering of self-adhesive backed material that is both intended for smoke and draft control in a variety of profiles, and then other self-adhesive material that's more generic in its use. You know, just PVC foam that you'll use in generic applications. By far, the most common Pemko item for smoke and draft control is the S88. S for silicone, then the 88, then after that's the letter. So D is the most common, dark bronze. So S88D, that's the industry standard, and Pemko's name is quite synonymous with that original teardrop shape sort of material. But if you had a pair of doors, you'd want the S771 in the middle doing the job between the two doors. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full-line Pemko catalog. And from there, when you pull up that catalog, what I do is, because it's impossible to remember what page this material is on, let the catalog load, do the find function on your keyboard, Control F for PCs, Control F, S771, hit the enter bar until you get to the page, and sure enough, when you finally get to that subsection of the catalog, you're going to find this and immediately all the sister products that go along with it. If you have any questions on the Pemko S771-GR T-shaped silicone seal or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.